My greetings. Today's tutorial is going to deal with tenses. And if you remember in a past tutorial, I told you that we're going to deal with the past simple and the past continuous when used as one complex sentence. In the past tutorial, we dealt with the past simple and the past continuous as independent, separate tenses. But now we're going to use both of them in one complex sentence. And by the way, if you remember, I told you complex sentences are very important in English because they contribute to your fluency in communication and writing. They contribute a lot, actually, because they add more depth, more coherence, and they allow you to use more words and phrases in one single sentence. Texts are based on complex sentences. Essays, articles, blogs, emails, memos, whatever, they are all based on complex sentences, not on simple sentences. That's why I would like you to pay attention to this tutorial and the coming tutorial because they are all going to deal with complex sentences. Okay, now let's start with, again, today, the past simple and the past continuous. Just to remind you, the past simple is used as one verb only, and it could be regular or irregular. And let me also remind you that regular verbs end with a D or ED, studied, played, heard, while irregular verbs, we change the whole verb from base into verb-2, from sleep to slept, from drive to drove, from come to came, from eat to ate. On the other hand, the past continuous is used as in the following structure: was or were plus verb ing. Okay, now, was playing, was studying, was sleeping, was driving. Now, our intention is to show you how to use the past simple and the past simple in past simple and past continuous actually in one complex sentence. There's a note to be taken into consideration. Past continuous is used in combination with the past simple to form one complex sentence. This is what we said before. Now, the link words, this is very important. Just imagine how you can join two sentences without link words. You could. It's a different approach. You could use a period and a capital letter. You could use a semicolon. But this is not good, actually. When you communicate, when you write, you have to show how good you are in joining sentences together. And the only way to do that is to use link words or transitions. Now, the two or the major link words that we are going to use are when, while, and as, because they allow us to join the past continuous and the past simple together. Now, as for the past simple, we call that a shorter action. What does that mean? What do we mean by a short action or a long action? Longer actions or longer action, a longer action actually, let's say longer actions, better, refer to an action which is performed over a long duration of time. Watch TV, make food, study. Can you perform any of these actions without spending enough time to do these tasks? Actually, you cannot. Some people might say, well, I watch TV for 1 minute. This is an exception. No one can make food in 1 minute. No one can study, actually. It's just like ignore make or watch and talk about study. Can you study in 1 minute? That's not studying. On the other hand, shorter actions refer to an action which is performed over a short period of time. You come into the house. How long does it take you to do that? You have a phone call, not talk on the phone, have a phone call. You open the door. This could be, the most, actually, the clearest of all. You open the door. Someone opened the door. How long does it take you to open the door? Okay, less than 10 seconds. So now what we are going to do right now is to show you how to join these two sentences together. The shorter action, which is the past simple, and the longer action, which is the past continuous. Okay, now? Now, the past continuous is used to describe an unfinished action that was interrupted by another event or action. So now, was watching was interrupted by came. So this is action 1. Actually, let me just write this down actually for you. This is action 1, and this is action 2. So now, action 1 was happening, and what happened is that action 2 interrupted that action. You know what that means, interrupted? Yes. Now, the past continuous is used when one action in progress is interrupted by another action in the past. Let's go on. So the shorter action interrupts the longer action. The shorter action, action 2, interrupts action 1, the longer action. Came into the house, was watching TV. She had a phone call, she was making food. Someone opened the door, they were watching in their or studying in their room. Let's go on. Like I told you, the most two prominent keywords or link words or transitions are while and when. I could use also as if you wish, okay? As if you wish. So now while is followed by the longer action, the past continuous, and then the shorter action, the past simple. While my family was watching TV, I came into the house. When, on the other hand, is followed by the shorter action and then the longer action, the past simple and then the past continuous. When I came into the house, my family was watching TV. More examples. Action 1 and action 2. The accountant was working on the computer yesterday at 5:30 in the afternoon. What happened? The manager asked him, okay, so let me just take this down. The manager asked him to come to his office at that time. So now we're going to join these two sentences together, okay? Let's look together. While the accountant was working, this is what? The long action, action 1. While the accountant was working on the computer yesterday at 5:30 in the afternoon, the manager asked him to come to his office. That's action 2, shorter action. Okay? Or you could use when, which is followed by action 2, that is the shorter action, past simple. When the manager asked the accountant to come to his office, the accountant, or he, was working, that's action 1, which is the past continuous, on the computer yesterday at 5:30. More examples, action 1 and action 2. Ahmed was working on the computer yesterday at 11:30. I came into the office at that time. So now, when I came, that's action 2. When I came into the office yesterday at 11:30, Ahmed was working, that's action 1. Okay, while now, followed by action 1, was working on the computer. I came into the office at that time. More examples. Let's see together. I was having a beautiful dream. Now I'm going to compare between while and when in two pairs of sentences, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. And if you wish, I could just make it 1, but let's just keep it 1 and 2. Now, when, we start with the link word first, and then we see how it differs. When is preceded by action 1, was having, past continuous, longer action, then followed by action 2, short action, past simple. Now, while used in initial position at the beginning of the sentence, followed by action 1, was having, woke me up, action 2, past simple, shorter action. Now, they were watching a horror movie when, now when here, okay? Now we're comparing between when and while again, two different sentences. Now when is preceded, we're watching, that's action 1, longer action, then followed by action 2, switched. While used in initial position, followed by action 1, we're watching, then action which is past continuous, longer action, and then action 2, past simple, shorter action. Now, 5 and 6. When preceded by longer action, was slicing the meat, past continuous, longer action, followed by shorter action, cut, past simple. While in initial position, followed by the past continuous, which is longer action, action 1, then action 2, verb 2, shorter action. 7 and 8. When, okay, in initial position, followed by action 2, verb 2, shorter action, then longer action, action 1, past continuous. While in initial position, followed by past continuous, longer action, action 1, then action 2, shorter action, or past simple. Now, 9 and 10. When used in initial position, followed by action 2, verb 2. Okay, then action 1, which is the past continuous, longer action. Finally, the fire started. We have while in middle position, Now it is preceded by action 2, which is shorter action, okay, past simple, then followed by action 1, which is past continuous, longer action. Now I'm going to keep this for another tutorial. Okay, now and then we're going to do the exercise for both tutorials 1 and 2 on the past continuous and past simple, or past continuous and past continuous in one complex sentence. Thank you for being with me. Hope to see you in my next tutorial. Thank you very much for listening and for being with me.